What's going on, guys? Nick Evanson here, and on today's video I want to talk to you about Chattanooga local mountain bike racing. We've got a cool event coming up in just a couple weeks. It is, what is the date today? End of February, okay? Middle of March, we've got a race coming up at 5 Points, and it's called Dragon's Crowne. And I want everybody here who has any interest in mountain biking to tell your friends about it, because Eric, the event promoter, has got more races in the planning stages, but he's got to have this first one go well. And I'm super excited to see local mountain biking happening in Chattanooga. The more races we have in town, the better, as far as I'm concerned. So if you have any interest in racing, you just like riding mountain bikes, tell your friends, come on out to the event. It's going to be a great one. In this video, I'm going to show you a course preview. I've gone out, created a Garmin route, tried to follow it as best as I could. I think it's pretty close to what the course is going to be. I'm not exactly sure. If you have thoughts or comments on the course, comment below, like, subscribe, all that jazz, and let's get into it here. So the race is going to start at the Ascalon trailhead, and you see there's a nice big parking area here. I'm not sure exactly where the start and finish lines are going to be, but this part of the trail here, I imagine we're going to probably use this to help spread us out and get us thinned out before we hit the climb. There's three kind of parts to this race course. First part is the climb, and it's about a 2-mile climb, a little shy of that, I think, and it's a good one. It's going to be challenging at race pace for sure. I am not the best climber in the world. I'm a little heavy. I need to trim down some, but this is going to be a good spot. Partway up the climb, there is a tough rock garden feature, and both times I lapped this thing twice in practice. Both times I went the wrong direction and ended up having to walk through the course, and hopefully on race day it'll be taped off a little bit better and I'll know where I need to go. I need to re-ride a few times too, but this is going to be a good climb, and positioning is going to be important, because if you get stuck behind somebody who's going slower than you or isn't a great bike handler going up through these rock gardens, it's going to be a problem. You're going to get slowed up. However, if you're new to this, don't be scared by the rock gardens in the course. If you're not good at rock gardens, just hop off your bike, run your bike through there, and you'll be just fine. There's a couple of creek crossings here, and yeah, it's going to be a good climb. But yeah, if you're new to this, don't be intimidated. Don't be afraid about the course. It's an experience. Just get out there and do it. You know, you're not necessarily racing to win it. If this is your first race, you may not know what you're getting into, but just come out and do it anyways. It's cool. It'll help you realize, wow, there's a wide variety of abilities in mountain bike racing, and I find it really motivating. And so that's why I do it, because you know, if I have an event to train for, it makes me want to train better, it gets me in better shape, and in general, life's better. Life's better when you ride bikes. So here's that feature right here. I should have gone to the right there, but I went to the left, which takes you to the upper part of the rock garden. I don't think those will probably be part of the course right here. It might be, but I kind of doubt it. I think we'll probably go through the lower section, which skirts around a little bit. But there's definitely some rocky, rooty sections in here. Right here, I just had to stop and get off my bike. I've never been through the rock garden before, so I had to get off my bike and just walk through it. No shame in that, though. You know, if you have time to scout it and know the lines better, that's always going to be faster. But if it's your first time out there, just get off your bike, run through it, and it'll be fine. So I was kind of excited to see the technicality of this course. I've done a lot of races at other places in town that don't have technical features like this, and this course is kind of technical. There's a lot of rocks, roots, not a lot of roots, but there's some roots, and there's also some places where it's just the trail's kind of tight, and so that's gonna make for some interesting racing. So after you get through the rock garden, the climb just continues, and it's a good push. It's not too steep of a climb, but it just kind of grinds on and keeps going for a while. And eventually you top out and you get the reward for all that climbing. There's a nice downhill section. right, so you can see here, we are getting towards the top of the hill. There's some rocks. Just kind of making our way through here, just grinding it out. There's a nice little spot there. You might be able to go over that log and pass somebody if you got the skills. And then we hit the downhill section, and the downhill is pretty fun. It's a bit technical, only in that there's these switchbacks right here. You can see it's a tight switchback, and if you come into it with too much speed, it's gonna be slower. So slow down coming into that turn, make the turn, then pick your speed back up. And there's a bunch of switchbacks coming up here. So this is a place I don't foresee there being much opportunity to pass people. You know, everybody's gonna be kind of going, if there's somebody going real slow, if that's you, hopefully just pull off to the side and let the faster riders by. Everybody that I've raced with around here has been pretty good about letting other riders by. But you know, if you're going the same speed, everybody's gonna be moving through here pretty good, and there's not a whole lot of room to pass. So, you know, getting good positioning at the start of the race before that climb is gonna be critical. If you're really wanting to keep a good high average speed, and then just don't make any errors on this descent. And then there's more places to pass people down on the flatter section. So the course is really split up into 3 sections. We've got the climb at the beginning, then we've got the descent, and then there's kind of a technical flowy section sort of, and then a bit of a flat section on the finish. And depending on your skill level and how much you want to ride, there's different categories you can sign up for in this race. If you're a beginner, you might just do 1 loop. If you're an intermediate rider, you might do 2. If you're a little more advanced, you might do 3. And then if you're a pro, not really pro, but if you're super tough, you can do 4 laps. So, you know, each lap is going to be around 6 miles or so, I think. You know, so you can do the math, figure out how much you want to ride. So I'm really loving the idea of seeing more racing, more mountain bike racing here in Chattanooga. I live here. I enjoy riding my mountain bike and racing it. It's motivating for me. When I got races to train for, it makes me faster, it makes my whole life better when I ride bikes. And so if you and your friends are interested at all, you should sign up. The race is called the Dragon's Crowne. It's at 5 Points, March 15th. So tell your friends, come out and race. You juniors, you can come out and smack me around. I'm not that fast. So the descent is about 1.5 miles, maybe slightly less, but it's a good long descent. And then you kind of climb back up just a little bit out of the end of the descent into one of the trail junctions. So right here I was flying through and actually missed that little part of the trail there, and yeah, it was a little wonky, but on race day I'll have to make sure I hit that proper. So we're coming through here. This part is kind of fast and kind of flowy, kind of some quick turns, and the trail's maybe a little bit narrow, but there'll be some opportunities to pass people in here probably. For me personally, descending is probably one of the places where I make up a little bit more time on some of the better climbers. And then also sections like this that are a little bit flatter and you know, good cornering and good technical skills. This is where I can make up a little bit of time. So I'm gonna just settle in on that climb and just do my own thing and then try and make up time on the rest of the course. So, and this right here, the flat stuff that's, you know, just kind of flowy and nice cornering, this is what I like to ride, and it's gonna be a good time. All right, so after we go over the wooden bridge here, there's a little riser, and it gets a little technical here just because the trail narrows down. And then we're gonna hit the tailings run here in just a minute, and you're kind of up on these mounds of old coal tailings, I assume. And the trail's kind of narrow, and there's consequences. If you go off to the side of it, you're gonna end up down off the trail somewhere. It's gonna be a bad time. You'll see what I'm talking about here in just a second. We're coming up on it now. So, and there's kind of a corner right here. Don't overshoot that one or you're gonna end up in the little nasty pond. So this section here, the trail's just kind of tight and it's kind of winding. You really gotta keep your speed up, keep your momentum going through here. There's some roots and things, so you really wanna keep momentum up and just fly over that stuff. But there's not gonna be any passing happening in here, obviously, unless somebody, you know, falls off the trail, then yeah, they're gonna get passed. But this is a fun section of trail though. So you can see the trail is nicely defined because you got all that green shrubbery around the edges of the trail, so you can really see it's kind of narrow, but I like it. It really makes it easy to see where you're going. This is kind of a tough spot here. You got those roots and you're trying to climb up through here. That could be a little bit of a point where it gets jammed up if the person in front of you, you know, stalls a little bit. So positioning is just so important, you know. If you got open trail in front of you, there's nobody stopping you but yourself. But if you get behind a train of people that are going through here. There's gonna be some stop and go, I think. And then after this section, there's, you know, a little bit of a flatter area that runs back to the loop, where the loop starts. And you know, you're gonna be doing 1, 2, 3, or 4 laps on this. And so I'm not sure where the finish is gonna be. I imagine it might be back somewhere towards the parking lot, but we'll find out on race day exactly how it's all laid out. But I think overall, this is a great course. It's got some technical, it's got a climb, it's got a fun descent. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. If you're out there and you're wanting to win this thing, you're gonna earn it. But I don't wanna make it sound like it's too hard. If you're a beginner, come on out and do it. You don't have to do it at such a hard pace. You can just do it at your pace. And it's gonna be a cool event. So the big thing I wanna say is, guys, come on out and do this race. Support local racing in Chattanooga. I think, you know, all the previous events that I've done that Eric has planned have been awesome. And I think, you know, we need to support this guy because he's doing awesome things in our community. So, hey, thanks for watching the video. Share it with your friends. Tell everybody you know, March 15th at 5 Points mountain bike race, the Dragon's Crown mountain bike race. It's gonna be really cool. So come on out and say hello if you see me there. And tell me you're gonna whoop me. That'll give me a little more motivation, stoke the fire a little bit. But anyways, thanks for riding with me today, guys, and we'll catch you in the next one.